Life for Mind presents. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to lack a conscience? The world is full of diverse personalities, each with their unique quirks and traits. But sometimes we encounter individuals who seem to operate outside the realms of empathy and moral compass that most of us adhere to. These individuals, often referred to as sociopaths and psychopaths, exhibit traits and behaviors that can be perplexing and at times alarming. They may appear charming, yet underneath that facade, they might lack empathy, engage in manipulative behavior, or demonstrate a disregard for the rights of others. While these terms are often used interchangeably, they represent distinct aspects of antisocial personality disorders. Understanding these differences can provide valuable insights into human behavior and the workings of the mind. So, let's embark on a journey of understanding. In today's conversation, we unravel the differences between sociopaths and psychopaths. Let's dive into the mind of a sociopath. What we find may be rather unsettling, but it's essential for us to understand. Sociopaths, you see, are often characterized by a distinct lack of remorse. They may commit acts that others would find reprehensible yet feel no guilt or regret. This is not to say they don't understand the difference between right and wrong. They do. They just don't feel the emotional impact of their actions as most of us would. Now, this might sound pretty chilling, but there's more. Sociopaths, unlike the rest of us, have a hard time forming emotional attachments. This doesn't mean they can't form relationships. In fact, they often have quite a few. But these relationships are typically shallow and are primarily a means to an end. You see, sociopaths are often incredibly manipulative. They're experts at reading people, understanding their desires, fears, and insecurities, and using this knowledge to their advantage. But why do sociopaths behave this way? It's a complex question, and science doesn't yet have all the answers. However, research suggests that sociopathy is often linked to environmental factors. Let's take a moment to unpack that. When we talk about environmental factors, we're referring to experiences that shape an individual's behavior and personality. This could include upbringing, trauma, or any other significant life events. In the case of sociopaths, adverse experiences during childhood, such as neglect or abuse, are often reported. These traumatic experiences can shape their worldview, influencing how they interact with others and perceive emotions. It's important to note, however, that not everyone who experiences trauma becomes a sociopath. It's a complex interplay of various factors, and everyone's response to adversity is different. Understanding sociopathy can be a daunting task, filled with uncertainty and misconceptions, but it's a task worth undertaking, as it allows us to better comprehend the complexities of human behavior and mental health. Remember, a sociopath is not a villain or a monster. They're human, just like the rest of us, but with a unique set of challenges shaped by their experiences. A sociopath is often a product of their environment, molded by experiences. Now let's delve into the world of a psychopath. In the shadowy recesses of human psychology, there lurks a persona that is as fascinating as it is terrifying. This is the realm of the psychopath. Unlike their sociopathic counterparts, psychopaths are not created by their environment. No, psychopaths are born, not made. The most defining trait of a psychopath is their lack of empathy. It's not that they simply don't understand other people's feelings, they just don't care. This emotional void allows them to detach from the feelings and needs of others, enabling them to act in ways that most of us would find unimaginable. Along with this lack of empathy, there's a superficial charm that psychopaths are infamous for. On the surface, they can be charismatic, engaging, even endearing. But beneath that polished veneer, they are calculating and manipulative. They use their charm as a tool, a weapon even, to get what they want. They can mimic emotions and manipulate situations to their advantage, and they do it so well that you might not even realize you're being played until it's too late. And what's even more chilling is that psychopathy is generally considered to be an innate condition. Some research suggests that there might be physiological differences in the brains of psychopaths. These differences might make them more prone to impulsivity and risky behavior, less likely to feel fear or guilt, and more likely to engage in antisocial behavior. You see, a psychopath's world is much different from ours. They don't feel the same way we do, they don't think the same way we do, and they certainly don't act the same way we do. This isn't a choice they make, it's simply who they are. So, next time you find yourself in the charm-filled yet chilling embrace of a smooth talker who seems a little too detached, a little too fearless, remember, you might just be dealing with a psychopath. Unlike sociopaths, psychopaths are born, not made. Sociopath or psychopath, they may seem similar, but are they really? Let's dive right into it. The core difference between sociopaths and psychopaths lies in the cause of their traits. Sociopathy is typically thought of as a product of environment. It's often linked to childhood trauma or neglect, a kind of nurture side of the argument. On the other hand, psychopathy leans more towards the nature side, with many researchers suggesting that psychopathic traits are largely inherited or born from a biological imbalance. Now let's talk about emotional connections. Sociopaths, despite their lack of empathy, can form attachments to others. They may have a circle of friends or family who they can maintain relationships with, albeit in a self-serving or manipulative way. However, these connections are often superficial and based on what the sociopath can gain. Psychopaths, however, are a different story. They lack the ability to form genuine emotional connections. They may mimic emotions and maintain relationships, but this is usually for their own gain or amusement. To a psychopath, people are nothing more than objects to be used and discarded at will. Which brings us to the topic of manipulation. Both sociopaths and psychopaths are skilled manipulators, but there's a key difference in their approach. Sociopaths are more spontaneous and reckless, often manipulating situations on the spot without much planning. Their manipulations are typically short-term, driven by immediate desires or needs. Psychopaths, in contrast, are long-term planners. They're like chess players, carefully calculating their moves well in advance. Their manipulations can span years, even decades, as they patiently wait for the right moment to strike. They're less likely to take impulsive risks, making their manipulative strategies more subtle and often more damaging. It's also worth noting that psychopaths are generally more dangerous than sociopaths. This isn't to say that sociopaths can't be harmful. They certainly can. However, the cold, calculated nature of a psychopath combined with their ability to mimic emotions and blend in with society makes them particularly threatening. Despite these differences, it's crucial to understand that both sociopathy and psychopathy fall under the umbrella of antisocial personality disorder. Both exhibit a disregard for the rights of others, a lack of empathy, and a pattern of regular and persistent rule-breaking. However, the nuances in their traits can provide significant insights into their behavior. Recognizing these differences can help us better understand their actions, motivations, and potentially, how to interact with them. While both can be harmful, understanding these differences can help in dealing with such individuals. So what does understanding these differences mean for you? Well, let's delve into that. The importance of understanding the differences between a sociopath and a psychopath stretches far beyond mere academic interest. It has significant implications for our personal relationships, professional settings, and societal interactions. Imagine for a moment that you're in a relationship with someone who always seems to be manipulating you, never showing genuine empathy. Understanding the traits of a sociopath could help you recognize this behavior, leading to more informed decisions about your relationship. Or perhaps you're in a work environment with a colleague who's charming, yet ruthlessly exploitative. Recognizing the characteristics of a psychopath might just save you from falling prey to their manipulations. In broader societal interactions too, this knowledge can be invaluable. We often come across news stories of people committing heinous crimes with seemingly no remorse. Understanding that such behavior could be a result of psychopathy or sociopathy might not justify their actions, but it certainly helps us make sense of why they happened. And it's not just about identifying potential sociopathic or psychopathic behavior in others. This knowledge can also serve as a protective shield for oneself. By understanding the traits of these personality disorders, you might be able to recognize when you're being manipulated or exploited, and take appropriate action. The realm of psychology is fascinating, and understanding the differences between a sociopath and a psychopath is just one small facet of it. But it's a facet that can have profound implications on our lives. So, don't shy away from delving deeper, from asking questions, from seeking to understand, because at the end of the day, it's not just about labeling people. It's about understanding the complexities of the human mind, and how these complexities can manifest in our behaviors. It's about empathy, compassion, and understanding, even when faced with the most difficult of circumstances. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding the differences between a sociopath and a psychopath can empower you in your everyday life.